The United States makes the UN work when it wants it to work. And that is exactly the way it should be, because the only question to the United States is what's in our national interest.
My name is John, and the International Criminal Court is now in session. It is August 11th, 2023, and just to quickly summarize things before you click off this video, literally within a moment or so, the lines in Ukraine are still, for the most part, stagnant. And yeah, but for those who want a more detailed look at the situation, I will happily oblige. So anyway, let's check out the front. So let's go immediately to the Robotone front, or vicinity of Robotone, which is right here. Just let Google Maps load, because for some reason as of late they've been a little, oh, there we go. They've been a little glitchy and slow as of late. But anyway, so this whole area here, Robotone, is tightly contested right now. In recent days, there have been mixed reports speculating that the armed forces of Ukraine have either entered or not entered this village. The reports that they actually were able to enter it, but then the Russians kicked them out after a series of counterattacks. And then there were reports of the Russians pushing the Ukrainians further back. But so far, things have not really changed here. And yeah, so Ukrainians are still struggling to reach the first line of defense, which is right here, as pointed out by Syriac maps. And yeah, so moving towards Velika Novosilka. So this town here, or this village, as you know, has already fallen. So now it's now contested for Urozane, or Urozine. Apparently, the northern portion of the town has fallen to the armed forces of Ukraine's control, while the center part of it seems to be contested as of right now. But there is reports that the Ukrainians are advancing, like slowly but surely. But yeah, they're advancing in Urozane, and it's not going to really shock me if they take this village. It just wouldn't, because Russians to me seem like they're having a bit of trouble like holding on to these areas here, and yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all if this village fell. But even if Urozane fell, they still got ways to go before they reach that first line of defense. And even if they do reach the first line of defense, they still got a long way to go before they can reach Mariupol, for instance, or even or even like one of the crucial town of Vonovka. Yeah. So yeah, they got a long way to go before they can reach at least Tokmak. And, of course, Melitopol and Mariupol, which is like going to be an eternity for the armed forces of Ukraine like to reach. So anyway, let's move down to Kherson. So despite the fact that I debunked reporting from Ukraine and a few other pro-Ukrainian YouTube channels of the Dachi situation, it is now apparently confirmed, thanks to Syriac maps and I guess Deep State UA or something like that. Basically, all the other sources I just pointed out, even Military Maps Info, that Dachi is indeed pretty much under control of the armed forces of Ukraine for the most part. Though the center part of it, at least this part here, this big section here, appears to be a gray zone. But otherwise, everything like on the left bank of the river, though, for the most part, is under the control of the armed forces of Ukraine. So, yeah, Ukrainians really want to reach the town of Olishki, which is like one of the big settlements in Kherson that are still under Russian control. And I wouldn't be shocked if they started trying to enter the town and trying to take it. I mean, literally, it wouldn't shock me if they started doing that, because they really want to prove to our politicians here in the West that they are actually making notable achievements on the ground. And there's also been reports of another successful landing on the left bank of the Dnieper River by the AFU here, just north of Kozachi Larry. And there's already reports that they also entered this town, but nothing is confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. So yeah, keep an eye out on the Kherson Oblast, because a lot of people are going to jump to conclusions here very quickly before anything like is even over. So yeah. But keep an eye on that. And so now we'll move to Artyomovsk Bakhmut. So for a while, I thought Kalishka was going to fall, but somehow, some way, Kalishka is still under Russian control. Despite so many attempts by the armed forces of Ukraine to take control of this village here, which, by the way, has very good strategic value to it, because anybody who controls Kalishka will essentially control, or at least will rain basically a lot of fire on this road here, which is between Bakhmut and Horlivka, or Golivka, depending on how you call it. But Kalishka is still under Russian control, even though it is reported the Ukrainians have entered the southern part of it already again. I mean, they already tried it already, but then the Russians kicked them out. But it appears that the Russians are going to hold on to this thing for as long as they can, because they cannot afford to lose it. Otherwise, their southern flanks in Bakhmut are going to be under threat by the Ukrainians. So yeah, they have to hold on to Kalishka. The Burkivka counteroffensive by the armed forces of Ukraine was completely repulsed, and the Ukrainians are now essentially back to where they started. So, Burkivka is still under the control of the Russian armed forces. So now, we move on to our last front. This one is slowly but surely gaining ground here. A lot of momentum is growing in favor of Russia in Kupiansk, or should I say Kharkiv or Kharkov Oblast. So this whole area, as you know here, is this big strip of land, is essentially for the most part the left bank of the Oskoy River. Now Russia initially, for those of you who don't remember, originally wanted to hold on to this area during the infamous Ukrainian WOW offensive in September 2022, or counteroffensive. I just like to say WOW offensive to my friends because it's funnier that way. But yeah, the Ukrainian WOW offensive was so successful that they literally ruined Russia's plan of using the left bank of the Oskar River as a defense barrier. So they wanted to use the Oskar River as a natural defense barrier against Ukraine. But as you all know by now, that didn't work out, and they were forced to retreat back into the Lugansk Oblast, or the Lugansk People's Republic. But as of recent, Russia is slowly advancing and reclaiming territory within the Lugansk Oblast back from Ukraine, and Russia has also reportedly re-entered Kharkov Oblast from, I guess, this direction here, but none of it is confirmed. There is report that the Russians are indeed advancing further down, apparently toward Sinkivka, apparently even taking it. This is all a rumor, by the way, so don't take what I'm literally saying as factual, as evidence that it has indeed fallen to the Russian armed forces. But if Sinkivka or Sinkovka falls to the Russians, then Kupiansk will be wide open for Russia. The gates to Kupiansk will be open, and apparently the situation in the area is getting so bad that the Ukrainians have ordered a huge evacuation of the area. In fact, I'll come back to it in just a second, because I have a map of the whole area where the Ukrainians are trying to evacuate at this moment, because things are not looking good for them. All right, let's see here. Just give me a moment to load this up. Oh, all right, here we go. I found it. Let's see if it loads up, because it's not loading up. Sorry about that, folks. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what I can do here. No, it doesn't want to load for some reason. That's weird. But yeah, so apparently the Ukrainians are trying to evacuate the... all right. I think I got it. Sorry about this, people. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So, the Ukrainians are ordering a massive evacuation of this entire area. So, basically, for the most part, the left bank of the Oskar River would be evacuated by the Ukrainians. And, yeah, basically this whole area here would be entirely evacuated. So this is the map here, as Syriac Maps has put up on his Twitter account, or X. So basically, Ukrainians are anticipating a crossing by the Russians on the Oskar River, and they would cross here. All this area here was once under Russian control at one point, and there's fear by the Ukrainians that Russia could take it back very soon. So, yeah, they're gearing up for a big battle in this area. And it wouldn't surprise me if Russia retook this whole area here later in the year. In addition to that, maybe even reaching the borders with Liman, another crucial town that Russia really wants back. I mean, if they want to make a push towards Slovyansk in the future, in the long term, they need Liman, they need Izium, they need left bank Oskar River. They need also back this town here. I don't know how to say it, by the way, in Ukrainian. I think I know the Russian translation of the town, but I don't know. It's the one with this very nice castle or so. It's beautiful. Definitely might go there one day. But yeah, so there is a fear by the armed forces of Ukraine that Russia is going to advance in this area here. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that whole area fell to Russia later during 2023. So yeah, so that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. If you liked what you heard from me, I recommend you like the video, comment, like your thoughts on the overall progress by Russia and the Ukrainians, and subscribe if you want. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.